I like to make videos, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here. In the last couple of years, I made a bunch of short films that I just wanted to go through a little bit, talk about, and then also talk about my newest short film, Behind the Trees. My love for videos or films started very early. I was very fascinated with them as a kid, and I loved watching movies and just study them and also making my own. And once I got a hand on like a camcorder, I started making little films. I started making films with my phone, with friends, and that passion or that hobby kind of turned into a job, a career. So the first film in this list is Reminder. It's a very personal movie and still one of my favorites that I've done in the last couple of years. The core idea of that movie is a man struggling with depression, anxiety, tried to kill himself, and is trying to get out of this slump, this depressive state of mind. And the idea is that if you want to get out of it, you have to first acknowledge that you are having this problem, that you are facing this disease, this mental health problem. And I shot this movie for my master's. So for my master thesis, I had to do a project, and this was my project. And I shot it with a bunch of lovely people, with two very, very cool actors. A friend of mine, Benjamin, he lives in Vienna, and another actress. She was part of another project I did before with other colleagues of mine. And it was just a very, very lovely project. And I think it still resonates with me so much because I put so much of my pain and suffering and just experience in that phase of my life into this film. It kind of reflects a lot of how I felt. And I still remember, like, even the 2 shooting days were very hard for me because I was struggling a lot with mental health and physical symptoms. I remember when it was showing for the first time at a theater, at a local theater here. It was very exhilarating, and I was crying a little bit because seeing something that you have put so much work, time and effort into on a big screen, which is usually not happening for me a lot, is very exhilarating and just special, and just sharing it with other people. And you know, it was hard for me because you see all the flaws, you hear all the things that you wanted to make better, you see all the things you wanted to make better, but in the end it resonated with a lot of people, and a lot of people liked it, and yeah, it's still one of my favorite short films I ever did. The Call is another movie that I did with my wife, the first short film I did with my wife actually, and it was part of a 48-hour movie short film competition online, and it was during the COVID lockdowns. And yeah, it's a simple idea that this woman just casually walks and gets a call and talks, and I don't want to give away too much. It's not that big of a deal, granted, but if you're interested, watch it. It's very short, but it's a very honest, raw, and just emotional little thing, and the idea was very simple, and I liked having a project with my wife. I don't know why, but I kind of sound like Borat when I say wife. And just also working with her on this thing, directing her, was very nice and a fun thing to do for us together, hence spawning a few other short films that I'm going into soon. But yeah, it's a very nice little thing. Sadly, it didn't really get any recognition from the competition. Yeah, it's a very, very nice little short film that I'm very fond of, actually. The next two short films, I was heavily inspired by David F. Sandberg, or Pony Smasher on YouTube. He did a bunch of short horror shorts with his wife and then ended up gaining traction and shooting Hollywood movies. And so the first one I did with my wife, like the first horror short, was Blue Light. And the idea is very simple again, that this woman is home alone and she's waiting for her husband or boyfriend, and she recognizes some weird things that are happening, some weird noises, and then she sees something. And the idea was that the blue light that the phone screen emits is revealing the hidden monsters, so to say. It was a very, very fun shoot. We shot it at night, 2 nights basically, and I did some visual effects, I would say. And I don't know, it was a lot of fun shooting it. And weirdly, people resonated with it, and I got a lot of positive feedback about it. And yeah. Also, we did this movie, just a little side note, we did this movie before we rebuilt the whole home, so having something that was shot in the old home is kind of nice. It's like a nice reminder of how it looked back in the day. The next one was It's Already Inside, and this one was shot in Wisconsin in January actually of 2022. So we were basically locked inside, there was a blizzard, it was super cold, and I brought my camera and I thought, hey, let's maybe shoot something fun, something just to you know, have a fun time with my wife, with her mom or my mom-in-law. And we came up with this, or I came up with this script, basically a little rip-off of The Strangers, a very cool horror movie from 2008 I really like. And so yeah, we built some props, we made some props, and we shot this little thing. And Danny's mom, so my wife's mom, played the main protagonist. And again, there's a theme in my movies apparently. Again, it's a woman home alone, and she's dealing with a home invasion. So the question is now, why do I lean towards horror? And it's not that I lean towards horror, but it's just a fun thing to shoot. Especially, you can have a cool range of emotions for the actors. And it's also fun to translate something to the screen that I'm afraid of or fears that I have, which makes it easier actually to tell a story, to make people afraid of something, I guess. Therefore, the next one I did with my wife was Unseen Nightmares. I did before our daughter was born in December of 2023. And my wife was very, very pregnant at that time, and that alone was very fun to have something from that time, shortly before my kid was born. And yeah, it's a fun, again, a fun little thing we just did. I wrote the script and I wasn't unsure if that could be something that, you know, could evolve into something bigger with actors or with more people, with a proper set. But I ended up just shooting it at home because, I don't know, I felt the urge to just do something. And it ended up being pretty cool. The idea was born from a Reddit post that I read at some point, and it just, the post itself was so creepy that I thought, ooh, there could be something to explore, I guess. Behind the Trees. Behind the Trees is the last film I did. Again, it was born out of the idea of doing it with my wife, having a little fun project with my wife. But after, you know, letting it just, you know, I wrote the script and it just let it sit for a while, I thought like, I could maybe pour a little money into it and maybe ask some actors to participate. And I've got some friends now that are eager to help with stuff like that and to just, you know, have fun making something. So I ended up actually setting up this more elaborate short film that felt a little bigger again, like my first one, Reminder, did. I got an actress, I got an extra, a friend of mine, and we had 2 other people helping with, carrying things with the camera, with the equipment, with just the script and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a lot of fun just being out in the woods for a day, shooting something, working on something together. And that again reminded me of why I love doing this, why I love creating something. It's just so much fun if you have like-minded people working towards the same thing, collaborating, getting ideas, changing things based on ideas, and just figuring things out as you go along. And that's exactly why I love doing this. And I hope it translates through the short. I don't want to give too much away. It's available on YouTube, you can find it here. But it's essentially, again, a young woman alone in the woods. She gets lost naturally. And yeah, things happen. I feel like it's not so much horror as it's maybe drama. I don't know, I like the plot a lot. It's very simple again, but there's a twist to it, and I don't know, I like to evoke some emotions in people, and I hope at the end you feel something watching it. And I would love to hear your feedback on it. Please go watch it. Again, it's here, you can find it here. And yeah, I'm very excited to shoot another project. I don't know when. I have a bunch of ideas written down. I haven't finalized the script yet, but I'm very excited to go out there again and to shoot something, maybe again with a bigger crew, because yeah, that's so much fun for me, and I love doing it. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for bearing with me while I figure this whole thing out. I'm still kind of new to this thing, sitting in front of the camera and talking to literally nobody in the room. And if you want to see certain things, if you are interested in other topics or other videos, please let me know. I can tailor to that. And also please watch some of the films I mentioned, Reminder or Behind the Trees, my newest one, and let me know what you think about them. And also, if you like Behind the Trees, please comment on the movie itself, and also let the actress know if you liked her performance, because she would like some feedback as well. Thanks again, and I see you soon. Bye.